Hey everyone, and welcome back to Red Dead Redemption 2. On this video, we're doing the main mission, the Landowning Classes. And this is a main mission that does not have a medal associated with it, which I think might be the only time this happens. If there's another one, I don't remember it. Must be from much earlier in the story if it does exist. But anyways, this starts in Blackwater at the bank with Ansel Atherton. And it looks like the newspaper seller is out. I'll go pick up a newspaper after we're done with the mission.
Excuse me, sir. Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm looking for Mr. Atherton. I'm a friend of Mr. Getty's over at Pronghorn Ranch.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Atherton is in his office. Hey, please head in.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can I help you?
I hope so. I want a loan, sir. A line of credit, so I can buy some property.
What property?
An old ranch, Beecher's Hope.
That old dump?
I know it ain't much, but I ain't much of a farmer either. But I will get there.
That is a very unusual way of asking for a loan. Mr.
Marston.
Marston.
Only folk around here call me Milton. It's kind of a joke, I guess.
A joke, huh? Which folk?
Mr. Getty's? I work for him. He said that you could help me out. I mean, if you can.
So old David Geddes told you I'm the kind of man to loan a man with two names money so he can buy a rundown farm on account of his lack of farming skills, huh?
Don't sound too promising when you put it like that.
Well, how would you put it?
Sorry to waste your time, sir.
Oh, sit down. I'm sure we can figure something out. Now, of course, we'll be expecting you to make regular payments, and given a lack of much evidence you got any means of repaying, the terms won't be too great. But if my cousin vouches for you, it'll be okay with the bank.
Really?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Now, of course, we'll be expecting our money back regular as clockwork until the debt's settled. Otherwise, the farm reverts to the bank, no matter how much you paid.
I understand.
Well, why don't you go check out the land while I fix the contracts and talk to Mr. Geddes. Oh, I heard there's squatters up there. We've been having so many problems recently, they'll need clearing on.
Sure.
Well, come back when you're done and we'll fix up the paperwork.
Well, that doesn't sound like a great deal for John. But maybe it is. I wouldn't trust the bank, though. So, anyways, that's the end of the mission. Let's go see if we can pick up a new newspaper.
What you looking for? A paper?
I am looking for a paper. The Blackwater Ledger number 72.
Thanks.
Well, how's things with you? Be seeing you around.
Let's find a place to read this thing. Back alley's usually good. Yeah, whatever. We'll just read it right here. Let's see. Blackwater Ledger, the voice of West Elizabeth and beyond. Panic of 1907. Stock market crashes. Exchange in freefall. Economy on edge. Traders and economists are reeling after the stock market continued to collapse this week. Those in banking circles say we are witnessing the largest evaporation in wealth ever recorded. Cries of anguish were heard on the streets of Lower Manhattan as the stock exchange continued to erupt into a frenzy and bankers rushed to find some way to subdue the panic. Some speculate the panic on Wall Street was made in order by big capitalists in order to depress values and allow them to reap a rich harvest when the rise returns. However, some have claimed it foolishness that a banker would will a panic, likening it to a farmer wishing for a drought or a sailor praying for a typhoon. The banker, despite being opulent in wealth, thrives from stability. Bankruptcy claims are being filed by the dozens of large institutions. However, as New York banks are protecting the situation by holding money out of circulation. Congress has already promised to investigate these national banks and review their conduct, though no charges are expected. Pump jacks sit silent. No oil found at Wapiti. Investors allege fraud. The oil reserves discovered on land near the Wapiti Indian Reservation in 1899 have turned up dry, and all drilling operations have ceased and packed up. There were high hopes for the location following a detailed exploration by the Leland Oil Development Company on behalf of Cornwall Kerosene and Tar. Really? That guy's still looking for Gavin? That's insane. It's been years. Anyways, detailed exploration by the Leland Oil Development Company on behalf of Cornwall Kerosene and Tar. And the number of petroleum outfits had sought to develop it into a well-paying field.
Somebody help me.
Workers flock to the... Oh, okay, we're gonna have to move her. He's gonna continue to bother me. He's way over there. Let's go this way.
Wherever you're going, I can get you there cheap.
Oh, don't walk into the stable. Alright, let's try reading here. Oh, not the journal. Let's see. Workers flocked to the area in anticipation of jobs that would pay as much as 22 cents an hour. Companies sank well after well, coming up empty with only a minuscule amount of oil being found, not enough to keep operations running. The tribe at the reservation went on the run after a series of attacks on the army, culminating in a bloody battle at the Cornwall Kerosene and Tar Factory around the time news of the oil discovery became known. Many members of the tribe were gunned down in Wyoming, but a few members are believed to have escaped into Canada. It is unknown what will happen to the Indian reservation land moving forward, as there are no Indians in the area to relocate there currently. Small farms disappearing, swallowed by large cattle interests. Laramie Corp, Corps offering buyouts. A sense of unease and uncertainty has arisen among landowners as a wave of real estate speculation is sweeping through cow country, and large cattle outfits are offering large sums for small ranches. Headed by Abel Atherton, the Cattle Association seems intent on remaking the West, having recently acquired Hanging Dog Ranch and a considerable amount of acres around Strawberry. Property agents from the Laramie Corporation are visiting small farm owners offering large sums under the new economic model. While opponents say a way of life is perishing, others argue that America is a country of progress, and those clinging to the homesteader ideal are firmly stuck in the past. Scale, they say, will always win out. President Waxman hails progress, discusses canal. Immigrants flooding Ellis Island. Is that 1.1 million? 1.1 million expected this year. Also discusses building Panama Canal. Speaking to a packed crowd in New York, President Thaddeus Waxman announced that this year is set to see the largest number of immigrants ever recorded passing through Ellis Island. The promise of this great land is known far and wide, he said, and over 1 million immigrants are expected to arrive in New York in 1907, greatly eclipsing previous years. The president also announced that Colonel William Thomas Kirchner would be the chief engineer of the Panama Canal project, construction projects in memory. The project was taken over by the United States from France 3 years ago amongst high worker mortality rates. It is thought that the American tradition of hard work and architecture superior to that of the French will allow the grand project to be completed on time and below budget. It has been one of the president's main initiatives since he took office after President McAllister's assassination. When asked about the large number of people coming to America, Waxman said all immigrants should be required within 5 years to learn English or leave the country. Romance novel proves bestseller. Overnight success. Author Leslie Dupont's 4th tome proving very successful. The thrilling romance novel Lady of the Manor, published under the pen name Leslie Dupont, is difficult to find in bookshops, owing to its massive popularity, especially among young girls and the elderly. Her novels have arguably been read by more people than anything that has been produced by any contemporary writer, although critics dislike her work enormously. Miss DuPont's books are lurid and steamy and weave tales of licentioususness. I'd never seen that word before. And thievery, love and deceit, murder and mayhem, lust and despair. It is claimed many of her tales are from the author's own torrid past, although Miss DuPont has never herself commented. It has been alleged that she once consorted with outlaws and gunslingers on the frontier. She has always been unwilling to corroborate these rumors. Bounties beware. Langton is hot on the trail. From the words of those he's chased down, James Langton is relentless, cunning, and fearless. Known for his sizable frame and 10-gallon hat, the bounty hunter from New Austin is the best in the country, running down outlaws and flushing out bandits. With a small army now working for him, law enforcement are happy to hand over their dirty work to Langton and his crew. He captured the Dillard brothers with the help of a pair of twin prostitutes. He killed Cecil Montgomery while he sat trapped on the commode. Sheriffs say, crooks beware, Langton is coming after you. Man's tropical enemy, germs of laziness. Hookworm plagues warmer climes. For many years, the lethargy of residents in the South was thought to be due to the germ of laziness. It is now known that the anemia that plagues warmer climes of the United States is the direct result of a parasite that lives in the gut known as hookworm. A major outbreak occurred in 1902 in Cornish mines and in the coal mines of France, Germany, and Belgium. A major outbreak occurred in 1902 in Cornish mines and in the coal mines of France, Germany, and Belgium. The affliction is quite common. That's a weird sentence. The worm is half an inch long in its mouth, armed with teeth. They attach by the thousands to the inside of the intestines, sucking blood, moving from place to place, and leaving bleeding wounds subject to infection. As to how the affliction takes place, there is by no means unanimity. I always hated that word, and I'm sure I said it wrong. Of opinion by medical men. Some think it to occur by penetration of the skin on dirt floors or foul drinking water. The malady is especially a scourge to residents of the Philippines and Puerto Rico, whose residents' health and welfare are now responsible for... What? It just ends there? Okay, responsible for. Radio Miracle. Music transmitted through the air. Ships receive broadcast. Written dispatches from the coast of Massachusetts report a novel experiment transpired recently. Using an experimental alternator transmitter at Brant Rock, technicians broadcast radio signals carrying the music from a phonograph record of Handel. The transmission was intended for shipboard radio operators at sea, especially the Navy, who have taken to the new technology for daily transmissions of time signals and weather reports via Morse code. The scientists working on the radio experiment hail it as a new dawn in entertainment and foresee a day where Bible devotionals and hymns are transmitted into the home for families to enjoy. A town of ghosts. Rathskeller Fork lies empty. The piano is covered in dust and is decaying. The streets are desolate. The larders filled with vermin. Windows broken. Families gone. Rathskeller Fork, a remote settlement in the desert of Gaptooth Ridge, New Austin, was once a bustling place where goods were traded. Travelers would stop for refreshment and repose, and dances and suppers brought merriment and cheer. It's now deserted. Some have blamed the exodus of the cantankerous caretaker who lives there and seems hell-bent on driving everyone away. It is hoped someone else will take the place over and return Rathskeller Fork to the days of old. New railroad completed. We've seen that before. And that is not it. We have one last one. Wait, yeah. One last one. The Art of Angling by Jeremy Gill. Redfin Pickerel. When not entertaining heads of state with the joyful pastime of fishing, I traipse into backwoods, cricks, and hollers where I meet the most delightful, simple folk who imbibe strong local spirits and gush about redfin pickerel. These uncouth semi-savages claim it to be the best eating fish you can find, and for that matter, the easiest to catch. They are feisty little predators that will attack a piece of cheese, as one old-timer showed me, a piece of red cloth. He'd dip it into the crick. The fish would bite, and he'd sling it up onto the bank with a toothless laugh. Happy fishing for those of you with a with and without a full complement of teeth. Alrighty, so we're all caught up on the news. Let's head out to the ranch that we just purchased, or are about to purchase. I haven't signed the papers. And that's where our next mission begins.
Come on, then.
I guess I may as well talk to this guy looking for Gavin. John's never talked to him. Where is he?
Sure you see it all.
Hey, Gavin guy, where are you? Alright, I actually have no idea where he is.
I'm looking for Gavin. He's my best friend.
Is that him?
He left me. I lost it. I lost it.
Wait, that's not you. The heck is he?
Must have seen an Englishman. Really funny he is.
Alright, seriously, I have no idea where he is. Well, whatever. I'm sure I'll run into him again, because he just refuses to give up.
I'm looking for
All right, girl.
Gavin.
How you doing, friend?
Gavin.
Sounds like he's just to my left.
Where the hell are you?
Alright, whatever. So, we're headed... Oh, I'm blind. We're headed here. We'll stop there. I wonder if there's any birds out here I need. Prairie chickens.
We got you now, you piece
Well, that doesn't look good.
of shit! I want his scalp. Get him!
Bad choice.
Get some
Didn't even move. Thank you, Scanner Brothers. I needed money and equipment. Well, not equipment, but supplies. Got some good money on him. And dynamite. Alright. Jeez. Yeah, like every single one of them was carrying a few bucks.
You're a good girl now.
What the heck noise was that? That was interesting. I guess a bird was making that noise? Alright, and I should probably be attempting to make progress on my herb challenge.
Easy now.
That herb challenge is gonna take me a while. Alright, so we're right outside of the next mission. Let me just check my journal and then we will wrap this up. And there's nothing new. So, we're all done here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.